Hi, my name is Sydney, and today I'm going to be talking about a Science Max video. The Science Max video I'll be talking about today, Phil focuses on hot and cold and how temperature can affect different things like air, water, and living creatures and different types of materials. So to start off the video, Phil introduces a really simple science experiment. He is making a hot air balloon. Doesn't sound that simple though. But he takes a thin plastic bag and 2 paper clips and a hairdryer, and he heats up the inside of the bag so the molecules move faster and spread apart. Oh my gosh. Fewer molecules in the same space means the air becomes lighter, so it can begin to float or rise into the air. But the air begins to warm quickly, so the makeshift hot air balloon can only float for like a short amount of time. So Phil wants to max out this hot air balloon thing, so he makes a giant homemade hot air balloon. And he gets some help from a woman. So the first idea he has is to tape together large garbage bags and add a huge balloon, and it inflates, but the balloon is a little too heavy, especially along with like the thick plastic that the garbage bag is made out of and all the tape he used to tape it all together. So it doesn't really lift off. So he segues off to like another little experiment about dry ice, which is frozen carbon dioxide. So he compares regular ice and dry ice. So regular ice freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, and dry ice freezes at negative 79 degrees Celsius, which is crazy. I didn't know that. He pours liquid water over the dry ice and shows that the water freezes like extremely quick from the bottom up because it's touching something far colder than its own freezing point. So that was really cool to watch, actually. Dry ice is really crazy. But he goes back to building the hot air balloon after that, and they realized that they needed like a lighter material for like the balloon thing. So they switched to a dry cleaning bag and science tape, whatever that means. Which is, I think it was just regular clear tape that he just called science tape, but whatever. But this clear tape does weigh less than duct tape, so yeah. The first version is a little bit better, but once the hairdryer turns off, the balloon collapses again. It's just a little too big, and the hairdryer isn't generating enough heat to like make the air molecules lighter. So they finally upgrade to an industrial heater. It blows less air, but it's a lot hotter. So the balloon slowly inflates and it begins to rise, and it's working a lot better than the last 2 experiments. But unfortunately, the hot air balloon flips upside down mid-air, causing all the hot air to escape. So that didn't work out that great. So Phil and this woman decide that like the balloon needs like a stabilizing frame to help keep its shape so it can't tilt over like that again. So they use a light wooden X across the opening plus a string tied to the bottom to hopefully fix this problem. So they take another break and do another experiment, this one involving like a glove thing. So ice water is usually like pretty cold after a few seconds of you putting your like body or hand or whatever in ice water, because your body's like, I think it's like 97 degrees like internal temperature. And he thought that was odd considering like animals like seals and whales can survive in Arctic waters, which are probably comparable to ice water. So Phil decides to make a blubber glove because that's what keeps seals and whales warm in Arctic waters. Their thick layer of blubber like all over them. So he puts his hand inside this glove that's like the blubber glove, and puts it into ice water, and he doesn't feel the coldness at all. So to max this out, he builds like an entire like blubber bodysuit and gets gets into a pool of ice, and he stays warm until the soup falls apart. So they do another segment that explains absolute zero and what that means. So the lowest possible temperature is 273.15 degrees Celsius. So at this temperature, all particle motion stops. There's no more energy. There's no movement because it's too cold. So Phil compares this concept to another cold temperature, like other cold temperatures, like in winter weather, in outer space, showing that absolute zero is colder than anything we can reach naturally. So finally, at the end, we go back to the hot air balloon experiment. And here he's still using the dry cleaning bags, the clear tape, which is lighter, the X frame to keep the balloon open and a little bit more stable, and guiding strings. So they inflate the balloon with the industrial heater, and the balloon gets massive, and it fully fills with hot air. And with the stabilizer in place, it lifts really smoothly without flipping over or anything like that. And they release it, and it floats beautifully away, and they've achieved what they came to achieve. So yeah, thank you.